Hello and welcome to this video where we will take a look at grades 2 and 3 around New York State Education Department Computer Science and Digital Fluency Standards, looking at the concept area of networks and systems design. At the bottom of your screen and in your slide deck is a link that will take you out to the State Ed website where you'll find more resources and a copy of the standards. Networks and systems design is broken down into two sub-concept areas. This is a fairly small area as far as the standards go. There's only 5 standards within this area, within this concept area of networks and systems design. And these standards you may find to be ones that maybe don't need full lessons in order to cover them. These might be mini lessons, or it might be something you do through conversation as you're going through and thinking about how you can use these standards in your classroom. The two sub-concept areas are hardware, where we're talking about the physical components, and software, where we're talking about the programs that would be used on that hardware. And then we have networks and the internet, where we're thinking about where our data is stored and how information travels. We have, again, the State Ed examples on the left. In the center is your Wakelet collection, and then we're going to click on the one on the right, the activity books. This is going to take you out to the State Ed website, or the book creator website for the NYSED Computer Science and Digital Fluency Standards. We're going to click on grades 2 and 3, click Read Now, click on the arrow, and then we're going to click on the sub-concept area of networks and systems design. You'll note on the page that the two sub-concept areas are listed, and then we'll go to that first standard. The first standard is under hardware and software. Here we're describing and demonstrating several ways a computer program can receive data and instructions and can present results. So we're looking at input and output here. So here you could talk about different technology that we have, like a microphone, and how our headphones work. You can use sensors and science to talk about input and output. And then after the standard, you will see some examples of ways that you can implement these into your classroom. For grades 2 and 3, you can explain the function of software in computing systems using descriptive and precise language. This is where we're thinking about how software helps us complete those tasks. So again, we can talk about how our systems work. We can compare our body and mind connection to the hardware and software so students can see the differences there. Again, there's some resources for you. And then as we move on to the third one for hardware and software, we're talking about describing and attempting troubleshooting to solve simple technology problems. So the focus here is building on problem solving. So our students are trying to get their headphones to work and something goes wrong, or a student is having trouble getting their mouse to work or something like that. Having them troubleshoot it on their own, or to have tech experts in your class that can help organize and figure out what is going on, will be very helpful to cover these standards. You'll note that there is not an activity yet in my view that I have on the video here of the standards for NSD, or Networks and Systems Design 4. These books are constantly being updated, so your version might have more resources embedded as we learn different ways to embed these standards into our classroom. For number 4, we're looking to recognize the information that can be communicated using different representations that satisfy different results. So you're thinking about the way information travels. You could talk about how a telephone works, or do Morse code, anything along those lines to help your students understand how we can send information. And then for networks and the internet, number 5, the last one here, is to describe and navigate the various locations where digital information can be stored. Here we're going to think about that we can put it on our hard drive. We might put it on the cloud in our Google Drive. We might have a thumb drive that we use. So you can go through and help your students understand that as well. And that's it for networks and systems design. Like I said, it's a pretty small area, but it has some really good information to help your students understand the world that we live in.